Hey there, this is Kim Rudd with Endurance Adventures. I'm just here in my home wax room, and I just went up to Pine and Midwest this past couple of days ago and got my skis looked at and realized that a couple of them were way too soft for me for classic and also for skate. So I highly recommend, that would be the first thing if you're like feeling like, oh, my skis are slow. That would be the first thing that you'd want to do. The second thing would be a grind to figure out if you have more than one ski, get a colder grind and a softer grind, or a warmer grind. And then after that is just taking care of your skis. So I'm prepping my skis for the ski to ski. I have my nice Rossies here, and I have a colder grind, a SC1 grind on them, but I have another ski that has an even colder grind than that. So I'm gonna go wax these up, and I've been skiing on them the last 2 days in very cold temperatures, and the snow at all the man-made venues is very abrasive when it's like, you know, single digits or negative. So very good idea to put a lot of wax in your skis during, you know, every week if you can, because they're just getting to be, when you start to see little white on the edges there, you know that you're getting a little bit abrasive from whether it be turning or whatever. So what I like to do first is to clean the bases. Now, if you haven't been skiing on super dirty snow, then you don't have to go through this process of cleaning your glide zone. But if you've been skiing on dirty snow, which we were earlier in the season, like super, you know, more brown snow, and then this is a great idea to do. You basically rub it on. I use an older brush to kind of brush it, and then I take one of these and just wipe it all off, and then you let it sit for 10 minutes, and then it's ready to go for waxing. And I also brush it as well. So I haven't really been skiing on really dirty conditions, so I'm gonna just do the step of brushing it out. I like this copper brush because it kind of gets deep into the pores. So you can just brush out any dirt that might be there, or older wax if you didn't brush them good the first time, which I often don't. I'm always in a hurry. When it's in really cold conditions, you have to make sure to get all that wax, as much as you can, brush out, because you don't want to have wax on. You just want that very, very fine layer. The colder the temps are, it's even more important. So I've done that. And now I'm gonna harden up my bases for the Ski to Ski event. I'm gonna put some Start Green. This has been a go-to wax for a very long time. When I started college racing in 1989, there's like 3 waxes. Rex Blue, Start Green for cold, and Purple Swix or something like that. It was very simple then. So I like to, that you can do the drip method. I do a little combination. I like to get it kind of melted on there and then cran it on. So I do a little combination where I'm dripping and craning, so you can kind of not use as much wax and be able to cover maybe a little bit more. It's really hard with these really hard waxes to get them all melted in and covered. So yeah, trying to get the most out of your wax. You really don't need a ton of wax because we're just putting a thin layer on. And with these harder waxes, you need your irons pretty high so that they can get that wax really into the base, but you want to keep your iron moving. You can really do some damage. I've done some damage to my skis by hovering too long or doing too many in a row. So I try to do 2 in a row. If you need to come back to it, just let them cool down and you can do another one. But kind of pressing a little firm, you should see the wax turn a little bit liquid, but then disappear. If it's not disappearing right away, then you're hovering too long. It should really disappear, that liquidy wax, right after you go through. So now that I've done that, I like to take the grooves out right away, especially with the harder wax, because it's just a pain to get when it's like totally cool. And be really careful. I have done some damage with my skis with these little things here. The groove scrapers, just make sure you're just not coming off at an angle, because that can make scrapes on your skis. So I got the grooves out. And these harder waxes actually are easier, I feel like, to scrape and to brush out. So I let that sit. I don't put it outside. I just keep it inside, go do something else, and come back and scrape in about, 10-15 minutes. My other one I did earlier, so I think this one is ready to scrape. And so I like to have a really sharp scraper, and I try to get all of the other wax off of it, and then I use like a sharpener, which is right here, and just sharpen that. Try to do it as often as possible, sometimes in between skis, because a dull scraper is not good on your skis. So take care of your scrapers, keep them clean, and your skis will scrape much easier. Okay, and then I also, I also like to hold the scraper kind of like so that my 2 pointer fingers are guiding me, so that if I slip or whatever. So I like to do kind of light brushes. I don't go over the whole thing right now. I do little sections, kind of light and quick, okay, with the scraper. So starting at the tip, we go tip to tail. Just nice and light. And I just work my way down, kind of having it at an angle. All right. I also like to do the edges. Sometimes you could use this, although this has a little bit of kick wax on it, or you can use the edge of your scraper and just kind of get the edges. A lot of people forget to scrape the edges of their skis. That has some wax on it as well. And then I just start doing the whole, going over it again. And really, you want to keep doing it until you can't get any more off. Okay. You want to get it so it's nice and shiny. Okay. Sometimes the tip is a little bit harder to do, so sometimes you can kind of go back and forth here a little bit where the tip is, and sometimes you just have to finesse it a little bit. And then I go to my copper brush, the one that we started with, to clean it, and I just do a couple runs of that, getting all the wax out. Sometimes I use my fingernails to get some of the stuff that didn't come out from the grooves. All right, now that I've done that, I can move on to to my nylon brush. Okay, so this is a great one. And this, so with this brush, the copper brush, you only want to go one way. So I have arrows that are pointing one way. You don't want to go back and forth with that because you can kind of damage your skis. But with the nylon brush, you can go both ways, one way, whatever you want to do. So I usually start kind of going crazy and just go back and forth. I'm pressing pretty darn hard to try to get all that wax out. Okay. All right, once I've done that, then I will put on the Swix Marathon, which has been running really good for the races. And this is a powder, so you just shake it on instead of dripping it, and then iron over, and same process. So hope this has been beneficial for you. Take care of your skis, make sure you're waxing them weekly if you're just skiing on the man-made, and make sure to keep that iron moving and get your skis checked out, because if you put all this time into training and technique but have just crap skis, then what's the point, right? You want to feel good on your skis. So good luck for those who are doing races this weekend, and hope you're staying warm. Bye.